Hey guys, welcome to Dylan's Little Hobbies, and today we are going to be doing a review for Star Wars Rebels Season 4, Episode 15. Now, let me tell you guys this. This is the only episode that I have watched at least 6-7 times before even trying to make my review, just because this is such an incredible episode, and there's actually quite a lot to talk about. And might I say, bravo to Dave Filoni. He's done a fantastic, and I mean absolutely fantastic job. And I really think that all he's done throughout this entire episode, let alone the season, is tease the heck out of us. So, let me just start from the beginning. The episode itself. So, last episode, they actually captured Governor or Price. I hope I'm saying that right. They captured her. And the plan is to go to the Imperial base on Lothal, the dome, if you will. And they're going to pretend to be O'Price's captives. And then they're going to actually break out, run into the dome, take control of the... Oh boy. Hey guys! Welcome to Dylan's Little Hobbies, and today we are talking about Star Wars Rebels, Season 4, Episode 15. And let me tell you guys, this episode... it's the only episode I've ever done this, but I've watched this at least 7 or 8 times before even trying to make my review, because there is so much, and I mean so much to talk about with this episode, and might I just say, bravo Dave Filoni. He's done such a fantastic job. The entire crew has done a fantastic job, and he's done nothing but tease us for what could be possible in the future. More on that later. Let's actually talk about the episode. So, it starts off with what happened in the last episode. In the last episode, they captured the Governor O'Price. Now, the plan is to actually go to the Imperial base, or the dome, if you will, as they're going to pretend to be Captain or Governor O'Price's prisoners, and then they're going to break out of that, take control of the dome, and stop the entire Imperial from ever hurting Lothal again. They even plan to blow up the dome along with all of the Imperial stormtroopers inside. Now, that's actually pretty brutal for a kid's show, but I really don't mind it. This is war, for God's sakes, and we gotta get rid of the Empire on Lothal some way, right? So, the plan pretty much goes to success, and let me tell you, I actually laughed. You know, I don't really laugh at Rebels very often because the child humor doesn't really connect with me very well, but, when Hondo said pigs can fly, I couldn't help but actually laugh at that. I don't know why, I just laughed. So, yeah, the plan goes pretty much by the plan, and then Thrawn shows up. And Thrawn is a genius. However, I have to admit, while in the past, Thrawn seemed a lot more threatening to me, and I wish in this episode that he seemed a lot more threatening. I mean, I know that he seemed very threatening, I'm not saying that, but it seemed very much so that I wasn't getting goosebumps from him like I was during the other episodes. And I really wish we got to see what happened, what Thrawn would have done to O'Price when he got back. We never got to see that. I do believe she would have been executed by Thrawn, not by Thrawn on himself, but he would order the execution of her. We never got to see it. That's a little disappointing. We never got to see it. But Thrawn in this episode he's Thrawn. What can I say? He's a very smart art man, and that's what makes him terrifying. Not as terrifying as he was in the past episodes. I wasn't getting goosebumps from him like I was in the past episodes, and that's probably because the Emperor is here. Compared to the Emperor himself, Thrawn's nothing. So I think, while I absolutely loved the fact that the Emperor was in this, I think because this was the series finale, I don't think they should have used the Emperor in this, only because it would make Thrawn more threatening, and to me, because the Emperor was there, it downgraded Thrawn's threat level because the Emperor's there. The Emperor's threat level is through the roof, for God's sakes. It's the Emperor. It's the Sith Lord, Sidious himself. So yeah, because of that might be the only gripe I have, but I never got goosebumps from Thrawn. I did when I saw the Emperor, but I really wish I got goosebumps from Thrawn. I wish Thrawn was the main villain of this episode, which in a way he was, but to me, because the Emperor was there, yeah, it just downgraded him, you know, that's all I'm saying. It downgraded my threat level whenever I saw Thrawn. And yeah, Thrawn's plan basically is this. As we know, the Rebels crew has pretty much won the day. We got all the Imperial forces inside the dome, and the shields are down and everything. And Thrawn actually has a really great idea. Instead of a great loss, it's actually a good win, because all the Rebel Alliance has done is they've actually protected all of the Empire from Thrawn's bombardment on the planet. So that's what he starts doing, and the only way he'll stop is if he gets Ezra to comply with him and surrender. And to make a long story short, he basically does. Now, throughout the episode, this is how I look at it. You know how we saw that Kanan Jarrus? Kanan actually was starting to see, like, premonitions of the future. I don't think that he saw his exact death, but I think he knew that was going to happen eventually. I think he saw something like, this is the way I interpret it. I think he saw dots out of order. I don't think he could have actually lined up the dots and see line from line from line what was actually going to happen. That's how I look at whenever you look into the future in Star Wars. Even in the prequels, when Anakin was having those Force visions of his wife and mother dying, I think he was seeing points, but he wasn't seeing the lines. You know, you see points of the future, but you don't see the whole future. And I think if he saw the whole future, of course, he would have never gone to the dark side, you know? But he saw the points, and that's what I'm saying is, I think Ezra might have saw the points leading up to somewhat of his death. We're supposed to believe they died, but he didn't see the line. Same thing with Kanan, and because of that, he seems to have the entire plan set out from the beginning. He knows what's going to happen. He doesn't know exactly how it's going to happen, but he knows what's going to happen, and because of that, he takes precautions and actually tells a couple of his rebel friends to actually go and get the space whales if they're in trouble. If anything goes wrong, to go get the space whales. And something does go wrong. Thrawn shows up. Thrawn captures Ezra because Ezra is pretty much forced. He's not really forced, but he pretty much sees no other opportunity but to surrender himself to protect his own, not only his family, but his home planet, for God's sakes. So he surrenders to Thrawn, and Thrawn actually takes them to the Emperor. And my God, when I saw the Emperor in this episode, I freaked out. I was amazed at what they're doing. And you know what? The Emperor being, he looks like an old version of the Palpatine from the prequels when he was in somewhat of disguise. You know, people always say that the reason why Palpatine has that really nasty look to him is because he got electrocuted by his own attacks in Episode 3. That is not the truth. The truth is, the way he looks, the way Sidious looks, that's his real look. And he's able to somewhat use the Force, kind of a Force alchemy, Force magic, to make him look like a good guy. And that's what he's doing here. You know, it's Palpatine, the politician we're dealing with. Palpatine, he might be an emperor, but he's a politician at heart. And let me tell you, that's the greatest power of Palpatine. Not his Force abilities, not his alchemy, but his politician and the way he makes it sound like he is the good guy, like he's doing good. It just makes him so threatening and terrifying when you realize the truth behind that nice smile of Palpatine. And I thought at the end, well, let me tell you what happens. He takes him to Palpatine, and Palpatine actually has a little bit of the Jedi Temple in Thrawn's ship. And there's a little gate at the end of the hallway that the temple is built around. And through the doorway is a portal into, of course, the world between worlds. And that portal is, of course, the portal to his family. You know, the family they lost, his parents. So, the Emperor is trying to talk him into going to change their fate. Going to save his parents. Save himself. Never having to deal with this ever. Never having to change the fate of Lothal. By doing this, if he does this, the Emperor's won. You know, we don't know exactly how much the galaxy would change because of it, but the Emperor, and the Empire would win if Ezra gave in. And, you know, they tease it, of course they're going to tease it, but I knew from the very second that he wasn't going to do this, because he already learned the lesson to let go of Kanan. So, of course, he's already learned the lesson to let go of his parents. And I love the fact that they're bringing that back, because the lesson to let go was the one lesson that Vader could never learn. And here, Ezra has learned it, and because of that, he's won. And the flickering between the Palpatine, the good Palpatine, the politician, to the actual real Sidious, the real look of Sidious, I thought was incredible. And then the sound of Sidious, and then Sidious actually calls in the guards. By the way, I forgot to tell you, Sidious is actually a projection. He's not really there, but still, it's Palpatine. The fact that we even get a hologram of him is amazing. So he is there, but he's not there. But he does call in people who are there, his Imperial Red Guards. Now, they're not in their capes. I don't know if it's because the cape would be harder to animate. I don't know the whole story there, but they're in their armor like they're in their fighting armor, and they have these staffs, and they're using these force pikes to basically hurt Ezra. He's like flowing in space, and you know that they actually have trained against force users, so they're not easy to take control of. But Ezra, by the end of the day, throws a couple rocks at him and gets out to Thrawn. Now, when he gets out to Thrawn, it's him and Thrawn's final battle. The space whales show up. I forgot to tell you guys this, that on planet Lothal, the team also has to put up the shield again before Thrawn starts bombarding the land again. So they actually do end up doing that. I swear I thought that what's his name? Zeb. I thought Zeb was going to die twice in this episode, and I'm very happy to see he hasn't died. Of course, that weird alien bounty hunter, I never, was his name Rook or something like that? I never understood him. I never got his name right. I think it's Rook. He died. He died a brutal death, and actually so did one of the stormtroopers died. I can't remember the stormtrooper name, unfortunately. Thankfully, it's not, of course, our board Rex, but one of these stormtroopers did die. I mean, stormtroopers, clone troopers. One of our clone troopers did die. I can't remember the guy's name, but that was actually pretty sad. And then at the very end of it, Ezra is holding back Thrawn and holding back the other door because stormtroopers are coming in to shoot him. And, you know, Hera orders him off the ship before the whales take him off to space, but he can't do that. Why can't he do that? Because he has to see Thrawn's death. And that's what happens. He goes and dies. At least we are led to believe they died. But here's the thing. Throughout the entire episode, he was telling Sabine Wren that he trusts her and that he puts his faith in her. He's relying on her, something like that. And we never understood what that meant, okay, at the time. And then the very ending happens. The very ending. Oh my god. So at the very end, we got basically Lothal after the entire I can't remember the name of the entire episode 6. I can't remember the name of the battle right now. But at the end of episode 6, we got Lothal. And we learned that Hera actually had a kid. She was actually pregnant with, of course, Kanan's son. And we also hear that Rex actually fought at the Battle of Endor. The Battle of Endor, that's what it's called. And so, yeah, we knew Rex was on that planet. I mean, he's the guy with the beard. Anyway, we also know that Zeb took Callus over to Zeb's new home planet, and that was really nice touch-up, ending that little storyline there. And of course, we got Sabine Wren on planet Lothal, looking out over the gorgeous new planet Lothal after the Rebel Alliance has won the war. And she just realizes, you know what? I think I know what Ezra meant now. One day she realizes what Ezra meant, and then we get this last shot of the ship coming in. And who walks off the ship? Our girl, Ahsoka Tano, is alive. What has she been doing during the entire episode 4, 5, and 6, the original trilogy? She has been stuck on planet Malachor. That's what I believe. Other than that, she is alive, and she has come back. And you know what? Remember what Ezra told her? Ezra said, when you get back, come and find me. It is time for Ahsoka and Sabine Wren to go and find Ezra. And Ezra supposedly died, but did he die? We simply don't know. And the way that Dave Filoni has set this up is so good. And I'll have another video talking about how it is possible that Ezra survived. But nonetheless, I absolutely love this episode. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed Star Wars Rebels. This is the end of Star Wars Rebels. This is the last video I'm making. Thank you guys for watching. I am out. Share, like, subscribe.